Hello, MonstersAbound, and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2 Mortal Empires and part 28 of my Grom the Paunch campaign. So we're attacking Balthazar, who is Carl. Is it? No, it's not. It's Carl, isn't it? It's Carl. Sorry, not Balthazar. It's bloody Balthazar on the brain. It's Carl. We're attacking Carl at Tempelhof. Azhag's getting stuck in almost immediately, saying hello to these gunners on the wall. I say hello. Obviously, he's eating their faces. That's what he's doing. And our big uns up in the siege towers. They're going to take the walls for us. Going to get a lovely little foot of Gork there. Gork, one of those. That's going to take out quite a chunk of that infantry fighting Azhag. And here come the big uns. Now, they do have quite a lot of missile units, plus they've got some mortars. That can be very nasty, very nasty mortars. We need to deal with those. And they also got some outriders down here, which is a bit of a problem for us. These missile units are going to be basically a pain in the arse, but I feel like our elite of the elite big uns, who currently have 82 melee attack, 65 melee defense and 73 weapon strength, should be more than capable of basically murdering anything they can get their hands on. Yeah, these boys don't really have a chance. Our Night Goblins hanging back, opening fire on any units they can see. I've also got some big uns currently hiding in the trees there. I guess for strategic. No, it's because I forgot they were there. I forgot that. Yeah, I forgot they were there. Never mind. Our cavalry is currently hitting the gatehouse, trying to knock down the gate there. Only some flagellants defending the wall at the moment, or defending the gate even. And they're being backed up by some handgunners. But let's face it, a little bit too late. Too little, too late there. Our big uns are charging towards the city centre with just some missile units to try and slow them down. Not a good idea because, well, that's going to sting. They're basically throwing everything they can to try and slow down the big un advance. But the big uns are just, I mean, look at the kill count. It's just going to start jumping up as they start just chunking their way through all of these units. But these mortars are going to start taking a bit of a toll on those big uns. We're inside the city, and Azhag is heading straight because I can see the mortar doing some damage to us. So I need to get into that, take out that mortar. But Azhag has also spotted Carl, and I'm like, maybe Azhag can kill Carl, maybe, especially with War. You know, with 132 melee attack and 984 weapon strength. I mean, he should be able to do some damage. I'd hope anyway, but he is kind of surrounded. He doesn't actually seem to be doing that much damage. In comes a Wind of Death, which is going to do quite a lot of damage. That's good. And you can see the big uns continuing to just munch their way through these handgunners. There's, yeah, there is. I don't know what you thought would happen here, but it's not going in the handgunners' way really. That guy's head literally just exploded. More big uns trying to fight their way into the city centre. We've got some cavalry just charged into them, but again, because our big uns are anti-large, it's just carnage. It's look, watch Zintner's Reichsguard health just drops. It's devastating, and the enemy troop numbers are dropping incredibly quickly as our big uns just hack their way through them. Azhag's not having a very good time. He's done quite a lot of damage to Carl, but he is he's very surrounded at this moment in time, especially by these Gundamans Surefires, who apparently have actually not bad melee attack and melee defense, which is upsetting. Well, I think it's mostly your blood, actually. The big uns have managed to break through, and they're actually now assisting Azhag, coming in to attack the rear and dealing with that mortar once and for all.
Goblins, orcs, they must all die.
Yeah, good luck with that, buddy. I mean, that's not a fight you want, is it? That is not a fight you want. Azhag's taking quite a lot of damage. We need to get Azhag out of there because he's taking a beating. Carl, I think, has used some sort of health potion or something because he's got more health than he used to. So we need to get Azhag out of here before he gets mulched. The big uns are not helping as much as they should be. Get out of there, Azhag. You're okay, buddy. You're okay. Okay, elsewhere we're just smashing our way through the remnants of the Empire Army. Look at the big pile of dead cavalry here. Nasty. Our cavalry, well, Dirkit Squigs have taken, horrendous damage, as is tradition. I always seem to get my squigs killed. But fortunately, it looks like Karl's finally broken, and with him, what remains of his army fleeing into the distance. A little bit dicey for Azhag, but I did second guess myself and wonder if charging Azhag directly into that big blob of units was a good idea. And the answer was no, it was a terrible idea. Don't do that. Good. Right, okay, well, let's sack that for the cash. And then I guess we'll take it for the lols. Thank you. Okay, let's give you spread public order, because someone needs to. And we're going to knock down that because we need more growth. And I think Chaos are going to leave us alone, which is good. Let's bring Gouger over here, just to keep an eye on what's going on. Everything there seems fine. Get a little bit more cash, try and offset the money we're currently hemorrhaging. Is he? Okay, good to know. Thanks for the update. Right, it gets... I forgot to do reloads again. Oh, for fuck's sake. Every single fucking time. Never mind. Right, everyone else is... Oh, you could go for it. Let's pop you in there, do a little ambush, see if we can lure Albrecht in. Albrecht, I mean, who? Did it again. Let's get assassinate. Yeah, let's get assassinate. I mean, you're not really doing much. You're just meandering around, keeping an eye on what the Empire's up to while we just burn the Reichland to the ground with Skarsnik. But Gouger, you can be assassinated because that's basically what we want. I feel like the Empire, and I know I get in trouble every single time I say this, but I feel like the Empire is kind of on the ropes a bit. Or at least it's having a bit of a bad time. That's going to come back to bite me in the arse, isn't it? You can get bloody blades, and I quite like extra campaign line of sight, so we'll do that. I also actually want to give you some stuff. So you can have the Helm of Discord, Sword of Anti-Heroes, Seed of Rebirth. Have the Potion of Speed, because you're going to be quite slow. So... that could probably be quite useful. Casualties captured after battle. Sacking settlements. Yes. Stealing magical item. Oh no, that's someone else. Sure, just have whatever else you can have. That's all good. Lovely. Lovely. Okay. Marco Pierre White. You're just meandering around until we find Grimgor. If we ever find Grimgor. He's tough to find, is old Grimgor. He's quite elusive. He's a shadow. Disappears in a puff of smoke. Yeah, looks like either the Skaven or Chaos. No, this is Skaven. So it looks like Chaos maybe have been like smashing through the cities, and then the Skaven have been settling it behind them. I think that's probably what's been happening. So that's interesting. Okay, we do have more. Boris is back. However, I think Chaos is heading towards Talabheim, so he might have other stuff to do rather than have us to deal with. So he might actually turn away, and if he doesn't, then, I mean, we've killed Boris multiple times. He's not had a huge amount of luck against Azhag, and frankly, I don't think his luck is going to pick up anytime soon at this rate. Wait, what? It's a bloody Undercity. It's a bloody Undercity under Schwarzhafen. How about that? And apparently there's Savage Orcs down there. Okay, that's currently not my concern. Tag merchant has been spotted. Fine. And we've got a mission which I'm not going to do. Lovely. Blah, 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 blah. Right, good. Right, let's hop Grom into Shattered Cove. Just in case Malus decides to have a go. Okay, 2 more turns for Sly. And, you know, I said I'd regret my words. Well, yeah, 2 fucking armies, didn't they? However, we have a Lightning Strike, which means that we can pick off one of these 2. Probably not both of them, probably won't have the movement range, but one of them, and they're both marching. Now, this army is definitely the war wagons are a pain, but not particularly dangerous. This army, on the other hand, has a lot of greatswords. So let's kill Boris. Boris is also going to have the garrison from the Moot to deal with. So we'll deal with Boris. We could auto-resolve that, but let's fight it, because we might need to kill Balthazar afterwards. I really feel like Azhag deserves MVP of this campaign, because the sheer amount of shit he's had to do is pretty astounding, and he keeps pulling it out of the bag every single time. Right, Rick Staines is going to single-handedly attack some greatswords for shits and giggles, and that works out quite nicely. Azhag's going after Boris, because Boris apparently wants an aerial duel. He's got a fluffy white horse with wings. I've got a giant monstrous dinosaur with a scorpion tail, and that's going to work out. Well, it's not going to work out for Boris. Boris is getting fucked. Look at this. He's like, nope, that was a mistake. That was very. I don't know at what point you went, this is going to be fine, but it was not. And Azhag is now finishing off Boris there. Good. Right, okay. Meanwhile, our Biggins are doing what our Biggins do best, which is basically kill everything they can get their hands on. Imperial Greatswords just don't really stand a chance against them, to be honest. I don't think much stands a chance against our Biggins, really. I honestly think our Biggins are pretty bloody terrifying. I don't know, I mean, you basically have to shoot them to death. That would be the best option. The Broken Tusk Mob engaging the Rights Guard here, and despite the disparity in... despite how much better the Rights Guard stats are, they're actually doing okay for themselves. Our Biggins coming in to hit the greatswords in the rear there, looking pretty good. A lovely Foot of Gork there does so much damage to these units. There was a big clump of units here, and it just completely broken the vast majority of them. How many kills did you get? Where is our Shaman? There he is, Ainsley Horrier. 188 kills. Not bad. What remains of their forces is getting peppered by our Night Goblins. And then, of course, our Biggins finishing them off. And with Boris dead, his army is not very happy about the situation of being brutalised by Biggins. I really feel like Azhag's the one doing all the work at the moment. Because, I mean, Skarsnik's just dicking about in Bretonnia, and Grom and Sly are dicking about in the arse end of nowhere. And then poor Azhag's the one fighting tooth and nail to hold on to our holdings in Sylvania and expanding them, which is, frankly, you know, he deserves a big pat on the back for that. I could kill this army, but... I mean, I could fight it, but I can't be bothered. I'm just going to kill them instead. There we go. Banner of Rage. You know what? The Banner of Rage and Frenzy stacks. So I could... I could take that. Do we have more than one of those? I don't think we do. Because I could... these boys here, the Forks of Gorkamork, they've got Frenzy. If we give them the Banner of Rage, they'll get double Frenzy, and then they've also got Berserk. So they, I mean, that's going to be a group of very angry orcs, isn't it? I mean, there's angry orcs. Orcs are generally a bit angry, but then you give them Frenzy, Berserk, and then more Frenzy. I mean, that's a group of orcs that really needs to go into anger management. If only to, like, you know, smash the place up. Okay, well that's the... I mean, we've killed... We killed Karl last turn, and then we've killed Boris and Balthazar this turn, which means we've basically wiped out 3 stacks of Empire troops in the past 2 turns, which means I suspect they probably don't have... they've definitely got more to throw at us. It's almost certain. I can just see them... Oh, look. Talk of the devil. It's Ian. Or it was Ian. Fuck off, Ian. Fuck off. You're dead now. I'm going burning your heart to the ground just to make sure you're double dead. Perfect. Good. Good stuff. Right. That's Ian dealt with. That's the main threats. Fucking Ian. He's trying to pop out of nowhere. What a dick. Now, the Bretonia did send 2 armies against Clan Scryer down here, and that failed for him. So now we can go and take Aquitaine. Yep, that one. Let's do something like that. Let's do something like that. Lichbone Pennant can go on you. What we've got? Leaden Banner can go on like you. And Razor Standard. Sure. The Giant? Probably not. The Ball Boys. Sure. Let's do that. Can we just auto-resolve this, or is that going to be really hurt? Oh, that's fine. Just do a little sacking. Because, I mean, this guy's costing us like 6k a turn, so he really needs to earn his keep. So we will get some replenishment there, and we will get... I like Soul Blight. Soul Blight's pretty good, so we'll do that. Okay, good. We're getting. I mean, we're up to 203. Sorry, thousands. No, yeah, no, yes. How much money is that? It's a number. It's a number of monies. A number of monies that we have under our possession. Look at that. All that money's, all that goods. It's yeah, it's good amount of money. Good. It's 200,000, is it? Yeah, it's that much money. Good, lovely. Got there in the end. It was fine. Okay, no sign of any more Empire stacks, but then I said that last time, and then look what happens.
Yes, boss.
So we are going to keep an eye on everything. I don't think they have much else. They can't have much else. I mean, we've literally just wiped out multiple stacks, and the stacks they had were trash as well. They weren't very good. So that leads me to believe that what they have probably isn't particularly good. I hope, maybe. I do want to resettle these, but that's somewhere further down my list of things to do. Azhag's got shit that he needs to deal with first, and that is, of course, the Empire. He has to deal with the Empire first. I don't really... You know what? Let's just knock that down, because we don't need that there. Surplus to requirements, and end turn. There we go. Bosh. Bosh. And we may never find Grimgor. We may never actually confederate with Grimgor at this rate, just because we can't find the bastard. He's out there somewhere. As soon as I spot him, I need to... Because he's a bugger to find. I just need to bop him, I think. I think the Empire's under control. Like, I was hoping... I was going to use Grimgor as a way to deal with the Empire. However, I feel like I'm dealing with the Empire now. That's Wurzag. Okay, we found Wurzag, but that's the wrong green guy. That's one of the green guys that we want, obviously, but it's not the right one. Ah, oh, Baron bloody Thegan. Come to piss all over my cornflakes. Okay, you're back. Your Strix. That's been issued. We're being raided. Now, I could declare war on these dweebs.
As you get sworn.
And I think that's what we're going to do. Yes, I'm going to call my allies to help. So we're now at war with Nagrond, but some things cannot be helped. This is quite a lot of stuff, but it's not... I mean... The spiky hydras aren't particularly good. The black dragon's quite nasty. And, I mean, the units are quite nasty in general, but I don't really feel like... We kind of want to kill both of them, don't we? I don't want one of those armies rushing... Mind you, they probably won't be able to get away, will they? Fuck it, we'll just bop one. You'll run away. Then we kill you. And eat you. We get a new ingredient because we killed the dragon. bop, 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 bop. And then
Goblin cake.
can we kill you as well?
Rubble.
Boom, it's the Dark Elf hat trick.
Roll. Fatter than anyone.
Have you got anything else, Malus, or was that it? Was that it? Was that what you got? Suck a dick, Malus. Upkeep reduction for green skill, spear infantry, bow infantry, and yes, let's do that. Do we need growth? I guess we kind of do until these settlements are all grodded up. All grodded up. Yes, I am an adult, and English is my first language. May surprise some. Okay, right. We are going to take the moots. We're going to give the Banner of Rage to these guys, so they're very angry. So that stacks. They get both Frenzy and the Banner of Rage, which means it's basically insane. We'll auto resolve that. And occupy, I guess. Why not? Why wouldn't we want the land of the hairy foot fetishist people? Creepy little bastards. Let's get steel technology. I mean, it's just at that point where I don't know what I want to give him, so I may as well give him whatever I feel like. This is a problem, which we will have to deal with at some point. I think we don't have to. Right, we can get some defences there. Now, the nice thing, like when you see like a high-ranking Bretonnian army, the one benefit of it is the fact that it's going to be totally shit against sieges. It's just not going to do any damage because it's going to be mostly cavalry. I'm just going to sack that again. I'm going to occupy it. I'm slightly concerned Baron Thegan may be able to reach us now. Yes, he probably can. Okay, good. Can we run? No, we can't run away. Good. Okay, we're gonna stand outside the city, and if he attacks it, we're gonna run away. That's what we're gonna do. Good. It's the brave thing. Let's get Blade Master, and let's see, Huglug, more Foot of Gork, because stepping on people is fun. Also does a shit ton of damage, which is also good. And we're going to replenish. A little bit concerned about this now, but he's got multiple. He's got Scarstick he could attack. He's got Oglog. He's also got Castle Bastone. He's got several targets he could potentially go for. So hopefully he'll go for one of them, and not me. I mean, well, not Oglog. I'd prefer it if he went for Scarstick. I'd really prefer it if he went for the dog walking. Because they are at war, aren't they? They are at war, yeah. Yeah, okay, good. If we went for them, that'd be grand. I'd be fully okay with that. Marco Pierre White. Now we know where Wurzag is. There's Wurzag. We still have no idea where Grimgor is. He's at war with the Empire. Who's he at war? Right, he's at war with Clan Scryer, Clan Moors. Oh, hi. Thanks. That's really nice. So he could basically. The problem is, he could either be here, here, or here. Which is none of the locations I'm in. And that's basically what my problem is. On the plus sides, little Sly will have some nice Spideys next turn, which is good. And we can give you longer weapons so that you can be slightly better against cavalry. I mean, having seen the stats of the Reichsguards in the last episode, I'm pretty sure the Boar Boys are probably some of the worst cavalry in the game, but far be it from me to poo-poo Boar Boys. The thing is, I really like Boar Boys. I had a unit of them. Like when I used to play tabletop, I had a unit of Boar Boys, and I loved my Boar Boys. They were great. And in this game, they're shit. They're just not very good, and it makes me sad because I want them to be good. I want them to like ride around on their little boars and do shit, but all they seem to do is just die. Okay, let's get some growth over here. Money's looking okay. We're doing okay. You know, it's kind of going up, and we're slowly bringing down what we're spending. I mean, next turn it's going to increase because Ragnarok spiders are expensive, but, you know, what you going to do? Apart from not recruit Ragnarok spiders, and that is not an option. Okay, now fortunately, Baron Thegan did exactly what I wanted to, and he actually went for the dog walker group that apparently was just camping outside of Bordello, and he decided to move them on. So that's nice. That means we can get the fuck out of here. Because the last thing, I don't think this army is capable of taking on Baron Thegan, so we're going to hide over here. Good times. Brandon the Devout. Oh god, you know what? I really hate Pegasus Knights, and it's not because they're particularly dangerous. It's just because they're annoying. It's just because they're legitimately quite irritating to deal with. Because they flap around, and then they usually go and kill your artillery for shits and giggles. So you have to keep units back to deal with them. And they're not even that particularly dangerous, but if you leave them to kill your artillery, then you have to recruit more artillery, which is annoying. So it's just one large annoyance, basically. So, made the right choice, and killed them before they got into a nasty big stack. Could go and sack Averheim. Could go. You know what? Let's go and hit Schwarzhafen. Bosh. And we'll just occupy. Right, now we know there is a Skaven settlement under 3k. Oh, right. Right, we'll burn that because the last thing I want is an undercity. Oh, this has got more sawmills. That's good. Because that will reduce the upkeep for Warlock Fanatics and stuff like that. Not that they're, like, very expensive, but better to, you know, reduce the costs where you can, isn't it? Especially when you are hemorrhaging money like we are every single bloody turn. You know what? We didn't go quite, you know, we didn't go as high as I thought we would do, to be fair. And that's with 2 more Ragnarok spiders to feed. 2 very large mouths to feed. Okay, so let's do something like that. We'll get the... So the longer weapons. Now their melee attack is already 77 and their weapon strength is already 426, which I don't really think plus 10 bonus versus large is really going to make much difference. So I think the melee defense is probably the better option. So we're going to do that. Now public order here is actually looking pretty good. And marching is faster than underwaying, so we will do that. I think we can probably just go for this. I don't think Malus is going to have much to throw at us. Famous last words, probably, but I just have this feeling that we're probably going to be okay. So we'll upgrade some bits around here. Finally get walls for Cragmire, assuming it survives long enough to actually get walls, but we shall see. And everyone else, I think, is fine. Zork, you're just going to keep now. Nullen, we might have a problem with... No, nothing. No armies. It's slightly concerning, just because it makes me suspicious about where their armies are. Because whenever I say I don't think there's any Empire armies left, you know about 10 of the fuckers are going to come out of the fog of war. That's what happens. That's just a given. We've been there before. We know it happens. It's best just to keep my stupid mouth shut. But I never do. Let's go and have a look over what's going on over here. Okay, we've got Chaos is laying... So Chaos is wrecking the north of the Empire. And I've been dealing with their armies, which maybe, like, between us... We've kind of like split their forces. I mean, they could maybe be recruiting armies around here, but that means we can take a big chunk out of their territory before they even get close. I was thinking we're going to have to confederate Grimgor to kill the Empire, but at this rate, it's actually looking pretty good. If we can just find Grimgor. As soon as I find Grimgor, we're going to chase him down. Now, I don't think taking care of Malus is going to take very long. So once we've done that, we'll take Nagazisha on Desolation Nagash just for shits and giggles, and then we will start hunting for Grimgor. so we can confederate him. And then once we've got Grimgor, we're going to kill all of the Empire, because the Empire sucks. And then once we kill the Empire, we're going to conquer Ulthuan, eventually. Assuming Malekith hasn't beaten us to it already. But we'll find out if that's the case next time. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.